Hey everybody, Michael from Steelyard here for the day 4 happy hour recap. And the good news of the day is I'm not alone. I've got the Steelyard team here with me tonight. So thank you for not letting me drink alone, everybody. Good to see
Cheers.
Should we tell what we have?
you. Let's do that. Absolutely. I've spent a lot of time talking about my Yingling the last 2 nights. So please tell us what you're drinking.
Well, I have a Manhattan because when we were on, in the Airstream at High Point, we had the teeny tiny teenies, and one was the brown and one was the clear classic, and this is the brown. This is Manhattan. It is bourbon and it can be bourbon, any kind of whiskey, and vermouth and cherries.
Okay. So. Cool. Catherine, what do you have there?
I have 1.5 limes in some vodka with a little splash of tonic.
Okay. And I've got the vodka with some lime and seltzer instead of tonic.
Aha.
And Sarah, what do you have down there in the corner?
I opted the non-alcoholic route tonight. The Topo Chico, which is my favorite sparkling water, but grapefruit, so it's a little fancier. So.
Fantastic. Very fancy. Well, cheers to you guys for joining.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers.
Yep.
So day 4 of High Point at Home, and a couple things. Last night's recap, I was talking about the on-air streams that dropped last night. We had 10 of those posts, and they continued on today. So I'll just do a quick recap of some of the chats I had today that you guys don't know about yet. I had a lovely, lovely chat with Jenna, the trim queen from New York. Got to meet her new foster dog who came from Alabama. So a little preview there, and also really had a really philosophical conversation with her. And the word of the day coming out of that was breathe. So stay tuned. Not to make a joke out of anything, but we did have a great conversation too about the masks she was making seriously for the medical professions, and then the masks that, of course, she blinged out with trim. Right. So. Stay tuned. Check that out when that drops later this week. I also had a great conversation with Alan and James right there in High Point, our designer friends, literally right there in the heart of High Point.
Yeah.
I chat with them talking about some of the changes they've made. And they're actually launching an e-store since they can't have folks into their store. So
let's be clear that's Stephanie Allens and Patty James, not like two dudes named Alan and James.
The other way.
The other way, yeah. Oh, you got
Stephanie James and Patty Allen. Yes,
that's right.
Kind of like Bauer Clifton. Everybody just gets them mixed up, and they.
Well, funny you should mention Bauer and Clifton too. They do, and it's one of those adjustments like we were talking about with Sarid the other night, where they put the photo studio. Alan and James, Patty and Stephanie actually are doing photography on the back porch of their studio because they didn't have the images for the product to do at e-store, right? So. We did fear during the conversation that we were hacked. There was another young woman in the conversation, but that's actually just their new hire. So check that out as well. And then you mentioned Sandy Bauer Clifton. I did just talk to Jeremy and Jason from Alaska as well just a few minutes ago. So we had a great chat. A couple things we talked about was how they were already set up to go virtual because they're in Alaska. Right. And they can't necessarily just roll down the street to a showroom. But a really interesting tip I had never heard from any other designer was they order samples in sets of 3. And I'll let you wait to hear that chat for why they do everything in sets of 3. But a great chat with those guys as well. And hard not to see them. They're everywhere at High Point Market. So
true.
Those 3 chats were great, and we will get those posted later this week, of course, to go with the other 10. And there are so many more to come. I think I'm going to target about 2 dozen. So I think we'll probably have about 24 chats by the time this is over. I'm not going to have a voice, but this is why I drink vodka at the end of each day.
Just keep the citrus in there, and it'll.
That's right.
Clear it up.
Right. But tell us, there was also something else launched on the High Point at Home site today was events. So we have a couple events that we've been promoting. Sandy and Sarah, what's up there right now? I can actually share my screen too. We should do that so we can see.
Yeah.
Tell us what's up there as I do that.
Yeah, we have, so one thing that just came to light today was the Okay, right now we only have two because we've had a couple already took place, but the webinar, the Wednesdays at 1 webinars that Century's putting on is brand new. They just announced it. And the first one is going to be this historical perspective with Alex Schuford. And I think it's going to be really interesting because, you know, Century's been around for a long time, as have a lot of these manufacturers. And so I think, you know, there's a perspective there. They've been through a lot of ups and downs and recessions and, you know, a lot of hard times. So
Sure.
I think it'll be really interesting. And it's going to be a regular series. So we'll be getting more information on, you know, what other programming they'll have. But, and then the Artful Wednesdays is coming up in May 6th, but we'll have other events are coming in that we'll put up. But I was kind of excited about the Century one because I think that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, Sandy, is Alex was featured in a Business of Home story this morning, and then I talked to Comer earlier today. They opened their factory a week ago. This is week 2. This is day 1 of week 2 in being able to reopen the factory. And they were saying it was, you know, very difficult at the beginning, just getting set up. I think Alex said in the article that they didn't even touch a piece of furniture that first day. It was really just getting people comfortable with the setup and the new procedures. And then this week, it's still a little bit of that adjustment, right, of getting everybody set up and comfortable with the new environment. They went to the local distillery, I believe, to get hand sanitizer, gallons and gallons of that. So it really, even though they're open again, it's a challenging time to reopen a factory, a big one at that for Century, right? So I'm interested to see their webinars each Wednesday and their perspective on things because, like you said, they've been around for a long time and been through a lot. And this is just another version of a lot, right?
Yeah,
True.
Yeah. And then we also, besides the events on here, let's scroll up. We've got some new introductions that we're rolling out. And we keep talking about how we're slow rolling some of these because there's still a lot coming in and we're going to really kind of do this for the next couple of weeks. But we've got a couple that went up today. I talked about last night. I think I mentioned York wall coverings. Oh, this morning I did in my social media post because I was fascinated by their designer series. Checked it out. And I saw the Stacy Garcia collection here. I know she was on a panel this afternoon. So that's my eye. And then also we just released the Greg Natali Concord collection for Kindle. And obviously I had a chat with Greg the other day, so that's fun to see. And Essentials out of California. So let's see what you got in there. This is new to me. I haven't even seen it yet today.
Yeah, and they, you know, they are so great. Everybody loves their rope designs. They have that famous rope chair, and they've just taken it, you know, farther with this weave here, and even the case goods have some, you know, natural kind of fiber
texture material. Yeah, they're one of my favorite brands. Like I was just planning my deck around that lattice chair today, the wing chair. I love that. Like good wing chair.
And some, you know, a lot of the rope ones, they have like an indoor version and an outdoor version. So
do they really?
Yeah, the outdoor ones, you know, are like the olefin rope, so they're pretty indestructible. But yeah, they continue to just, I mean, everything they do is I see everywhere, you know, the rope stuff they do. So I'm really excited about these new things.
Yeah, you know what I love about them too, and you can see it here, register for account. They're so designer friendly. I mean, they have a whole designer care department. Really takes care of the designer. So really cool to see that on here as well. Sarah, I'm going to put you on the spot. So we see obviously York, and we see Essentials for Living, and we see the Greg Natali collection for Kindle. What's still in the pipeline? What's coming over the next couple of days that's got you excited?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I mentioned, we're adding things every single day, but I think the next few days, something I'm excited to go through is your new Scarborough House collection. So that'll be live probably tomorrow. So in our next happy hour, we can go through that. We have things coming from Natural Curiosities, Summer Classics. So yeah, like I said, lots of exciting things to come this week.
Cool. I love Scarborough. I mean, it's a different look right now, right, compared to a lot of folks. But Diane is just good people too. That's my favorite part. She's just good people. So we're really representing 200 Steel there. You know, obviously we talked about Century over in 200 Steel and Scarborough and Kindle.
Yep.
And Woodbridge, who we did a chat with too, is out of 200 Steel. So quite a few of the manufacturers we're featuring. Now, Catherine, I see you keep cheering over there. Are we adding brands to the core Steelyard site as we speak?
We literally are as we speak. It's going to be a very long night of getting some of these fabulous designer-friendly brands up, but we are rocking and rolling over there. And one just completed as we talked on this chat.
Okay. I mean, do you need me
So exciting stuff.
to song? Because I can sing some Eleanor Rigby.
There you go. Well, you have to do it for 20 seconds, Michael, for washing your hands.
Got it. Right. Happy birthday twice. Or for a good Catholic schoolboy, it's the Hail Mary twice as well.
There you go. There you
Right.
go. And we had a lot of alternative ones suggested by the twin fourth graders in my house. So it's been interesting. Some good ones.
That's great. Well, look, it's an exciting time. You know, as I mentioned, we will continue to keep going with High Point at Home because there's so much more to share. And really, I think, Sandy, we're going to keep this going for a couple of weeks at this point because there's so many brands still sending things in. And, you know, honestly, it was Alan and James who said it earlier, Stephanie and Patty. They said, look, there are still projects that we are on the construction phase, you know, and we've
absolutely
got product to put in. And we want to see what's new and we want to see, you know, what's going on. So I think it's an exciting time and we're going to do our best to keep this rolling. Now, we're not going to have happy hours every day for the next 6 weeks. Well, maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
It's getting kind of habit forming.
It is. But at least every day we will preview what you all are putting up so that we can tell folks what's going on. But Sarah, where can everybody, they can find it on High Point at Home, but we're also doing some things on social, right? On Instagram?
Yeah, so all of the Zoom chats that you've been doing on our YouTube channel, and then also our IGTV at Steelyard Access. So you can follow along there too. I added a few today, but yeah, there's going to be lots of content, new content every day. So
cool. And I think there will be an increase too as people really do get their arms around all of this and you know, continue to get new content. So stay tuned for High Point at Home. I'm just really thrilled I'm not alone tonight for happy hour. So thank you for that. And we'll continue to do this and keep lifting up the industry. I think it's so important. Every chat I've had, we've been talking about that. But we've got to keep on keeping on. So to all of you and to the word of the day, as I said from my conversation with the Trim Queen, is to breathe. And that's it. Breathe.
And there's an app for that, by the way, for Breathe.
right.
Oh, good.
Oh, our CTO has to jump in with an app for that.
That's right. It comes up a lot.
I'm not very fancy, so I don't know about those.
This is my app for that.
That's it. Mine too, Sandy. Well, guys, cheers. Keep on what you're doing. This is great. So thank you all. HighPointAtHome.com. See you tomorrow.
Thanks.